guys, it's Monday, January 18th, and the Stamp Maven here. Hope you guys had a good day and your week is starting out great. Tonight I have a fun fold. It's actually a triangle card that I'm going to show you. We're going to start out with one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, and we're going to make 2 cards. This month, my technique class, I'm going to be teaching 3 fabulous fun folds. So I kind of wanted to give everybody, it's not really a sneak peek because what we're doing tonight is a different card than I'll actually be doing in my technique class. I wanted to start out in January doing these fun folds because I've had a lot of people who wanted something new. They get tired of just sending the same old card front. Usually I actually teach you techniques themselves, and I kind of think fun folds kind of qualify as a technique. So I am going to flip the camera around and we are going to get started. All righty, here we go. Okay, I think I'm ready. Perfect. Well, these are the cards that I'm going to be showing you tonight how to make them. This set here, I used Rhonda Wade's $1 Million stamp set, and I've got some of these put down because my husband was filming them for me. I used her $1 Million stamp set, ridiculously awesome. All of these greetings are from that. Different paper, and I've kind of made them a little bit different. And tonight, I'm going to use totally different paper, totally different stamp sets, so you can see the fun, different ways to do them. And we're going to be doing them step by step together. So, the first thing that we're going to do is prepare our 8.5 by 11 paper. Now, I'm going to use my trimmer right here. You could just use a scoring tool and then bring out a trimmer, but I like to do it all using my trimmer. So I've got my piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'm going to score down at the 4 1/4, which is where you would typically do it for a regular card. And then I'm also going to score here at 5 1/2. Normally, you would either cut it here and then you'd have your card opening this way, or you'd cut it here and then your card would open sideways, or it could open from the top. Then next, I'm going to actually, hello, Miss Carol, I'm going to remove my scoring blade, and I'm going to set it up here. You want to make sure that you put it somewhere where you remember it will be. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in this, let's just call this the track of our trimmer. And I'm going to tell you, it is a little tight when you're trying to fit this in here, but it definitely works. So I'm going to line up the point on the top here and then the point down here on the bottom in my trimmer. Now I'm going to put my blade, whoops, I shifted it. I want to make sure it's in there. I'm going to put my blade in the center because I want to go up And then I'm going to come and I'm going to go down here. And the reason I do that is I don't want my corner to get crumpled in any case. So now I've got where I've cut it, and sometimes it will get, the blade will get a little bit fussy, and then you just come back in and give it a quick little trim there, and here we go. So now we have got both of our pieces. I'm going to move this trimmer because I don't need it right now. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to fold over these points here, and I'm going to give it a good crease because I want these triangles to be opening easily. And then you would do the same thing on this one. Now, through the magic of video, I've already done these. So I've got my corners here, and then I've got this one, which actually opens the opposite way. So now you can see we're going to be making 2 cards. Okay, so I've told you it's 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11. The next thing we're going to need is 2 pieces of designer series paper. They're each going to be 5.25 by 4. Now you'll notice the ones I chose here have great patterns on both sides, and it really doesn't matter how they go. You want to make sure, let me bring in these here. You want to make sure that you have patterns that will work together, or it won't be upside down on one. You can actually choose designer series paper from different packs. This actually is a celebration freebie, and we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But it's got all of these great patterns in here that you could use that would work just fine. But I chose these just because I thought that would be great. All right, so, we are going to need our trimmer. I lied. So, how we are going to cut these pieces, remember, they're 5.25 by 4. So this one I'm going to put in where I'm turning it to the left, and I've got a point here, and then I'm going to have a point down here, and then I'm going to cut down. I'm going to do the same thing. I want to start it in the middle and then go down. That way I get perfect corners. So then this one, we're going to do the other way. We're going to tilt it to the right, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to line it up here in our track, and we want to make sure those points are there. Then, whoops, and I moved it. And the great thing about this trimmer is you see so easily, and then you can get it back in there. Okay, now I've got my pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay them out on the card. Okay, so I'm going to put this one that way and this one over here. Then this one is going to go here, and this one is going to go, let me shove these down a little bit. They're going to go like that. So the next step is I'm going to adhere them. Now, I happen to grab, I still have some snail left. As many of you know, we do not sell snail anymore. so we sell our, okay, I just forgot what Seal Plus and regular Seal, and it is phenomenal. I just grabbed the wrong one to start, so forgive me for that. Then what you're going to do, you're just going to lay this down, and you may, whoops, there we go, and that's why. You may choose to use your green glue because it is more forgiving. If you get it in the wrong place, this green glue allows you to fudge it a little more. So let's bring that in and I'll show you what I mean. So we're just going to put our glue here on the back. And then when I go in to put this on, I can move it around and make sure that I get it lined up exactly where I want. Whereas the snail does not give you quite as much of forgiveness. All right, so there's this one. Hey, Linda Ham, thank you. Well, feel free to use, anything I show here. Feel free to share it with others. If you have questions about it, I'll put the measurements in a comment once we're done with the live, and I'll post the recording. All right, so then we've got this one here. Now we're going to do the same thing, and you notice this green glue, as we call it, it's really called Tombow multi-purpose mono liquid glue, but we just call it green glue, and everybody seems to know what we're meaning when we say that. But see here how it's letting me just move this around and get it exactly how I want it. All right, now I've got these two cards, but we're not done. What we want is this again. This is a basic white cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. And just for the sake of time, I am going to just put these in the inside without any stamping. But of course, you can totally put images in here, or you might choose just to leave them blank so that you can write a lot to your recipient. Now, it's funny. A lot of my customers like to use big greetings on the inside because they don't want to write a lot, or they stamp, all over it, and then they can just write, "Hi, miss you," or something, and they don't have to write a whole bunch there. Okay, so now here comes some fun. Let me bring these in. So I stamped my little sentiments ahead of time, and I wanted to show you this little guy is our Darling Donkeys celebration set. You can get him free when you place a $50 order. And all I did is I stamped him in the same color of ink, which is the Seaside Spray and Night of Navy are what's used in this paper. And then I just used the same blend to color him in. I had his ears, his feet, and his little face with crumb cake. Then I took some pearls and I just used my Night of Navy blends to just give it a little bit of pizzazz. So what we're going to do then, I used my rectangles. Let me get this down here, and then I'm going to go right over here and get them so you can see. These are the stitched rectangle dies. If you don't have these are amazing. They have all the different sizes of rectangles, and I use this, I think, probably more than any other die that I own, because you can layer and they just turn out so great. So that's what I did on this one. Then what I'm going to do is I want to attach this right here, but remember, you don't want to put it down flat like you would on a regular card, or you wouldn't be able to open it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little adhesive here and here, and then I am just going to put a little right here on this edge, and you'll see why in just a second. All right, now then, I'm going to lay this down right here. You could also put dimensionals over here if you wanted to have it pop up. But a lot of times when I'm mailing my cards, I just want them to lie flat, because depending what post office you go to, oh my gosh, one of them will charge you more, the other one won't, and that's just a pain in the neck, so I don't want to deal with that. But look here. Now we've opened this. There's no adhesive over here, so that's why I just put it in the corners here and then put it on the designer series paper. Let me show you the other one here. So what I did, this is celebration paper, like I mentioned, but I got out my lovely used stamp set, because this little stamp right here, I thought coordinated just perfectly with this designer series paper. So I came in on just a piece of scrap paper and I stamped this little flower. And I'm sure a lot of you know that if you use one color, let me just get that stamp out again and show you, because it's really kind of fun. So this is the Seaside Spray ink. Let me get a scrap paper here. Okay. So if you ink up this little flower, and then if you stamp it 1, 2, 3 without lifting it, look here, you get 3 totally different shades of the same. I just turned off one of my lights. Hopefully you can see that better. Same thing if you were to use the Night of Navy. So stamp, stamp, stamp. And then you get these 3 different shades. So that really is kind of a fun thing to play around with. And that's what I did here. You can see kind of the darker Seaside Spray. That's the next one. And then that's the really light one. So just a fun little trick to do. All right, let's bring this card back in. So now on this one, and let me show you, you could turn it, I did it this way. You could so easily do it this way and then put your greeting here. Now, the pattern still looks okay with this one, maybe not perfectly because the stems kind of go sideways. That's what I was saying. Make sure when you're picking your patterns and you're cutting, make sure they go the way you want them to. So we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to put my adhesive on the back right on these little corners. And then I'm going to just put a little bit right there. Okay. And we're going to come in and just set it down. And you'll see I actually added some rhinestones on this one. And then, look, No fuss, no muss, no adhesive here. Hey, Donna, how's it going? All right, so we've used the same card base, our Seaside Spray, and I've got a glue dot on the bottom of that. And then I've used two different stamps, our little Darling Donkeys and our Lovely You. So it's so easy to make these cards. And, you know, when I make cards, hey, if I'm getting out all my stuff to make one, why not make two? Why not make four? And it'll be so fun when your recipient opens this and sees that you took the time to just make such a fun little card. So I wanted to just tell you really quickly, right now, if you're new to Stampin' Up, in January and February, it's our celebration time. So for every $50 that you purchase, you get to pick something free. Isn't that exciting? And then if you order $100, there's some special stamp sets. They're called Level 2, where you can get those. But, you know, I have some customers who ordered $500 worth. Well, they could get 10 free stamp sets. So I hope that you'll take advantage of that. There's going to be another celebration coming in July and August. Normally, Stampin' Up! Just does it January through March. But this year, they did it, they're breaking it up into two. And I will put my shopping link in this, in the comments later. I wanted to just show you one more. Hey, Sue McReynolds, how are you? I wanted to show you one more little project that I did the other day, and I might do this next Monday. I'm trying to do a Facebook Live every Monday to sort of teach you some new things. I did the background on this card with our new blending brushes. Oh my goodness, guys, these are almost like makeup brushes. There's all these little, almost like little fibers in here, and they're just so soft. And what I did was I took 3 different colors and I used these blending brushes to blend everything. And I used a bunch of different colors on mats and things. Oh, I just think it's so fun. If you think that you would like to see that, I would love to show that. Yes, Carol, I will certainly tell you the stamps and everything that I use when I post this. Well, thanks so much for popping in, guys. Leave me any questions you have. I'll put the measurements up here, and it's great getting to chat with you guys. My technique class is going to be next Thursday night. Those are classes that I do sell, and if you get my newsletter, you'll get all the details, and I'll also post it on Facebook. You can visit my blog at stampmaven.com. If you want to order anything, you can go to annbrown.stampinup.net. All righty, have a fun evening. Talk to you real soon.